So food waste in America is real.
Huge.
Yeah. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, the United States discards more food than any other country on the planet. That's nearly 40 million tons, 80 billion pounds a year.
And a lot of it, by the way, is totally fine to eat and fresh and still packaged,
Yes,
and
it
it's no
is.
problem. Jasmine Crowe Houston is on a mission to help restaurants and stores reduce waste and give those leftovers to the people who need them most. Thank you so much for being with us. She is featured in our Faces of Changes, and we love this, and we're so glad that you're part of this, Jasmine, and so glad you're joining us today. So first, let's start off with Goodr. What exactly is this organization, and how does it help?
Yeah, so Goodr, we are a sustainable food waste management company. We are working with businesses to help them reduce their food waste and feed more people. Our mission is to feed more, waste less. And essentially what we do is we help businesses divert perfectly good food from landfill. We're delivering it directly to people in need. If it's not edible, we're composting it. We're helping them turn it into animal feed. But as you guys were saying, those statistics are real.
Yeah.
We're wasting 80 billion pounds of perfectly good food, while tonight nearly 40 million people will go to bed hungry. And so we really are connecting that. What we like to say is that hunger is not always an issue of scarcity. It's really a matter of logistics, and that's what Goodr solves.
So I want to get in, after you doing all this, have you found out the why? Why do we discard so much food and get rid of it? Are we scared that we're going to get sick? Like, what's the big story here?
I think it's a little bit of everything. For sure, there's a lot of fear of liability. Like, if someone gets sick, if I donate the food, am I going to get sued? And so Goodr really solves for that. We say once we take control of this food, we'll take on any liability, if any, but we have a lot of agreements, insurance in place. I think a lot of it is people just don't think that they are contributing to this greater problem of 80 billion pounds. You think like, hey, oh, I have half a tray of chicken, I'll just throw it away. There's nothing it could do. Sometimes some of your staff members are taking it home, but we have heard from people that work in a lot of the establishments that we're serving now, how many times they wish they could have been able to take that food home to their own kids.
Right.
Yeah, they're not even allowed
or
to
it's
do
frowned upon if you go to a restaurant and you ask if you can eat your neighbor's leftovers.
Right. Sometimes it's perfectly good food on the plate.
Good.
Like, I'll have that.
Yes.
Now, how did this all come about? Because it first started as an app. How did that work, and then how did you transition to what you're into now?
So, I first started feeding people that were experiencing homelessness, really right on the streets of downtown Atlanta, and a video of my work went viral. And so I woke up one morning on Facebook, millions of views, thousands of comments, and people kept asking me who's donating the food. And the truth was nobody. I was couponing, price matching, cooking all this food myself. So I go to Google, what happens to extra food? And I fall into this deep rabbit hole around food waste. And I was upset. I'm like, what? Why are we wasting all this food when people are going hungry? And I was really inspired at the food delivery apps, whichever is your favorite, right?
Yeah,
Uber
there's
Eats,
a million of them.
so many that are getting food faster to people like you and I, but no one that was trying to solve for the millions of people that didn't know where their next meal was coming from. So that was the inspiration, to connect an app with businesses, basically with people that can get this food, nonprofits, out to people in need. And when the pandemic hit, as you can imagine, so many of those businesses closed, corporate cafeterias, stadiums and arenas, colleges and universities, the people that we really were getting a lot of food from. And so we really transitioned into the second part of our mission, which was feeding more people. And we started working with farmers and grocers and food manufacturers to procure food that they would otherwise waste and then give it to families. And so it's been a great journey.
That's what I love about entrepreneurs like you. You find a problem and you're trying to find a way to solve that problem. Can you tell me how it's been in the industry of giving back? You found this business model, but I mean, you're ultimately creating smiles on people's faces.
Exactly. I mean, I cannot tell you how many mornings I wake up to just emails from people that are like, we are giving people sometimes hope in their darkest hour. I mean, people that are like, thank you so much. My cupboards have been, we got an email from a senior citizen who was in the hospital, and when she came home, her house had been like ransacked and robbed right before Christmas. She was like, some of her ornaments that she's collected her entire life were gone, and that people actually stole food from her refrigerator, from her pantry. And so seeing an email of just saying like, thank you guys for delivering food to my door. Like, my pantry has been empty for weeks, and now I have food. It is a life-changing thing that we're doing, and it's really the best job I've ever had.
I love
Jasmine, you're a force.
So cool.
Thank you.
You are a force. Jasmine, thank you so much for being here, and of course, what you do. And of course, you can find out more from our Faces of Change community and how everyone is really helping people across the globe.